this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and this is a little bit of a different video. This is a behind-the-scenes vlog-style video where I go over how it's made, Board Game Blitz podcast. I'm going to talk about how the Board Game Blitz podcast is made, a typical week of when I record through editing and posting the podcast. We actually went into detail about how a podcast is made on a podcast episode recently, so I'll link that in the comments as well. But if you want to see more behind the scenes, then this is the video for you. If you want to see even more behind the scenes, you can also support us on Ko-fi, and I'll have an extended video where I have even more stuff that I'm working on that's not just the podcast, because I also do YouTube videos and other YouTube videos for other channels and stream on Twitch and stuff. But yeah, this is gonna probably mostly focus on how the podcast is made. All right, it is Sunday evening, which means it's podcast recording day. I just put my kids to bed. It's around 6:50 p.m. and we're gonna be recording podcast soon. Earlier this week, I started setting up the show notes, which I have open over here. These are show notes. I copy over like a template from last time and then put in like games that we're gonna play, and then the sponsorship info from Gray Fox, which I emailed them earlier this week, and then Crystal, I think, looked at it earlier today, a couple of hours ago, and started putting in some topic ideas. So we're gonna pick out the topic. I'm gonna call her soon on Zencastr and pick a topic and then record. Yeah, so sometimes we're kind of last minute on the topic ideas, especially since we kind of run out of those. But yeah, I'll be doing that today. All right, so I record on Audacity. We each record on Audacity separately. So I'm setting that up, getting that open now, looking at the show notes. This so actually my notes for things, but okay, so I have ideas to pick from. I opened up Audacity. I have a folder. I have lots of folders open, which you don't need to see, but this is where I create a new folder for the episode. And then I'm gonna save this file in that folder. And then I'm going to be calling Crystal on Zencastr. And then I can do it. Okay, recording. Here, recording. Are you recording? Recording everywhere. Okay. All right, it is now 8:10 and we just finished recording and said bye. So we talked about some stuff before, like some admin stuff, and then yeah, so now I have the files here. These are the files from Zencastr, which I use to sync up, and this is my recording file, and then this is Crystal's recording file. So I'm gonna sync it up, and then I do a little bit of like noise balancing or sound audio level balancing and noise cancellation before the unedited. So the unedited part is actually kind of edited, but that's for the Ko-fi people. And then I will edit the podcast. And so I start that now, do a little bit of it so that I have more time for the rest of the week, because this is due Thursday. The podcast goes out Thursday. Today is Sunday night, and I don't have much time during the week, as you will see. I'm also watching or listening to YouTube on the other screen right now. Sometimes I have to pause that when I'm editing. Oh, and I recently set up my Stream Deck to have some editing functions on Audacity. I used dark Audacity. This is Audacity. But like I use this now sometimes. Sometimes I still use my keyboard because I'm not used to using this all the time, but it has like delete and mute, and then like different buttons for changing which cursor it is, and to lock tracks and not lock tracks. So I use that sometimes. So now I can start editing for reals, because I got the let me make sure. Unedited, yes, this is working. Good enough. So what I do for that is I take last episode and copy over the intro and outro stuff. So I have like the outro and intro. It takes a while to load. Here we go. Copy over the bumpers and the intro outro, which I have on a separate track. And then I can close out of that one, go back to here. All right. And then the intro we always record at the end, so I'm gonna move that over. And basically, I'm gonna edit now. Here's the intro. So I listen to that, make sure it sounds good. So I'm listening, and then I'm gonna like mute myself because I have some noises, and then move it over. So I want the intro to like be timed out with the intro music, I have the music fade out after the intro talk, which is gonna be over here. I used to add timestamps after and like re-listen to the episode, but now I can just do a label track, this labels, and I can export the labels and it'll have the timestamps. So I'm gonna add the labels as I do this. Sorry, I can't talk while I'm editing, but I'm basically taking out all the ums and maybe some other stuff that's redundant or stuff. I'm trying to like make it as blitzy as possible, which takes some time because I have to listen to everything and then listen to it again after I take it out, as I'm taking it out, to make sure it sounds okay. So it takes a while. It was what, like 45 minutes I think of unedited audio, and I'm trying to get it down to 30, although this was a longer episode, so it might be like 35 or something. Alright, I'm actually going to pause here because I think my kids were crying, so I'm going to go check on them. But I also can remote into this computer from upstairs where I have my laptop, and so I sometimes edit there, which I'm not going to film. But yeah, I might edit a little bit more from up there while also watching YouTube. I have it paused while I'm listening most of the time because I need to listen to this, which makes it hard to listen to other audio. But yeah, I'll keep working on it. And that's my Sunday night. It is now 10 o'clock on Sunday, so I'm gonna get ready for bed. But I did edit some more after I went upstairs, so I edited like maybe around an hour and a half total. And I'm halfway through the podcast. Well, maybe a little more than halfway through. I'm at 16 minutes. So I finished like the recently played set chicken, and then I'll do the thematic segment probably on Tuesday or Wednesday, because I don't have time on Mondays to edit. But yeah, so partly done, and then I'll finish it later and do the show notes later too. All right, it is now Monday at around 7:20. I usually get up at around 7 and get ready, and then at 7:30-ish, I get my kids up. I think they wake up before then, but they stay in their room. So yeah, and then we get ready for preschool and then go to school and stuff. So during the day, it's just like kid stuff. All right, it is now Monday, almost 7 p.m. We just put our kids to bed. Usually I would be getting ready to stream on my personal Twitch channel. I stream on Mondays, usually around 7:30 with Joe Sondow. We do co-op puzzle games. But, and then I would be like doing 5 minutes of editing while we're getting ready for that and waiting. But today I have a board meeting for my preschool. So our stream's gonna be later and I won't have time to edit tonight, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the board meeting and then stream. All right, it is Monday night now. I'm about to start. Well, I did start my stream with Joe. There's Joe. But you can't hear him, but he said we started. And yeah, we're in the starting soon screen of our stream. We both stream simultaneously. But yeah, we're streaming games. So no podcast editing right now, but other stuff. All right, it is Tuesday morning, about 10:30 a.m. I dropped my kids off this morning, I did some errands, and now I have about an hour before I need to pick them up. Oh, and this morning before they went to school, I actually played some Here Fishy Fishy with them and took some B-roll of that in case I don't already have some. I think I do already have some though. But yeah, we played a game. And then now I have about an hour left before I need to pick them up, so it's time for more editing. Maybe I'll be able to finish the podcast in this hour. We'll see. All right, I finished. It's like 32 minutes plus bloopers, which I might edit down one of the bloopers actually, because it's kind of long. Usually I don't edit the bloopers, but like this is a long section where I'm probably just gonna have part of it. I finished. I still have like 5 minutes. And actually that took like about an hour. Exporting the audio, and then I will export the label track which I made, and then I have a little Google Doc for doing that, but I'm gonna do like the show notes and stuff later. So this is actually ahead of schedule. Usually this isn't done until Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, so that's exciting. Yay! export labels, save. I also need to save this before I close it. And that's it. Yay! Okay, so, whoops. All right, so it is almost time to pick up my kids from preschool, so I'm not gonna be working any more today, probably. I might have a little bit of time to start like uploading and put the label tracks in. Actually, I could probably do that now. I have 5 minutes-ish. I have the admin site, so we don't use like any podcast hosting. It's just my husband made it. Toby made it. So, well, first I listened to the podcast, see if it sounds okay. But yeah, I just upload it to the website. My husband made the hosting and stuff. So you do that, and then the blog thing is I copy over the previous podcast notes, and then I'm gonna like update that later. The game, but whatever. Okay. So then I preview the post, make sure it uploaded the right file. I need to make sure I don't like edit the wrong one, which I was about to do. And then I send this draft to Crystal. So I post that we have a little Facebook group of just us where I post the episode drafts so she can listen to it. I don't think she listens to it anymore. She used to listen to them. But all right, my alarm just went off for I need to pick up my kids from school or start getting ready for that. So yeah, I'll post this on the Facebook group, and then Crystal can look at it. Sometimes we don't have a title yet, and then she helps me think of a title, and then I'm gonna do all the show notes later. So that will probably be tomorrow because tonight is game night. All right, I actually tried to get my kids to record some podcasts because it's coming up on their annual podcast special takeover. But while I was doing that, I decided I need to upload a video. So I'm uploading a video to YouTube because I already had edited it last week or a couple weeks ago, and then I have like that stuff ready. So I just need to upload it and schedule it, and then like get the social media stuff scheduled. So I'm starting that now, but I'll take a break. All right, it is almost 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Just put the kids to bed, and this is game night. So we play games with friends come over. We play from like 7:30 to 10, and then it's bedtime. And then if I remember, I try to take B-roll of the games as we're playing them, because then I like save it if I don't already have B-roll of the game, if it's like a new game. And like I've been doing YouTube videos of games that we played, like just mentioning them, and then I have the B-roll so I can show images of the game or videos of the game and play, and then I can use it later too if I talk about games later. So yeah, I've started doing that, I think this year. I'm not sure, I don't remember when, but I'm trying to like gather up some B-roll. I just take video with my phone there. Oh, and before people get here, I decided to finish scheduling my YouTube video for tomorrow. I had uploaded it, and now I was like making sure it was ready to go. And I also scheduled some like Twitter and Facebook posts. I'm not very good at Twitter and Facebook and social media, or I guess it's X, right? X and Facebook and social media. But I just post that about the video, I guess. Because otherwise I won't remember to do it when it goes live. Because I'm busy. All right, it is around 10 o'clock a.m. on Wednesday morning. Kids are at preschool. I did some errands, so I have about an hour and a half of free time. So that's plenty of time to check emails. That's what I'm gonna do first. And then finish getting the podcast ready. So I'm gonna do the show notes, put all the links in there, make the YouTube version, make title screen stuff, schedule everything. Yeah, I'll show you some of that. This is the label track that Audacity exports, but it's not really like in seconds kind of. Well, I guess it is in seconds. So I change it to like second minutes with this Google Doc, and then like I can copy this over to this page over here. I copy it down here and have like the games with the timestamps, and then I have to add in links to all the games. All right, and then I've got a podcast show notes Google Doc where I put, this is the show notes that ends up going in the podcast part. So I copy that and put that in here for it to like upload to with the HTML formatting to like all the podcast players. And then I also have something to paste into Board Game Geek for the blog post, and then something to paste into the YouTube thing. So I basically like copy over this to everything. Like I copy over the description and the different formattings and stuff. And I type in the timestamps for everything. And basically I'm going to copy over from here into the respective spots where they go. Lots of copy paste, which is not the most efficient, but I don't know, it's kind of hard because everything has a different way of putting things in, so I don't know if I can automate that easily. Then I also do tags on our website for like all the games that we played. But first, I used to like link all of these. I didn't used to do a Board Game Geek blog post, but now that I do that, it's easier to, I have to like link manually the games in the Board Game Geek blog post when I post it. Like it adds it to the blog post. So I do that part first, and then I copy those links from the blog post draft to put into here. So I don't have to like look up the games twice. And then I like update the games to be correct. All right, and then also while I'm doing this link thing, I'm gonna open up DaVinci Resolve, which is my video editing program, because I make a YouTube version of the podcast. So, and that takes some time to export. But, oh yeah, and I also already copied over the cover art of these games that I put in the thumbnail. So also while I'm opening DaVinci Resolve, I also open my title screen template in GIMP. GIMP is an open source alternative to Photoshop. So I use that, use all these free things. Anyways, so then I change the title. So basically I just have the same title screen. I don't spend too much time on this. This is what I put on the YouTube title screen, but then I put the images from here. That's it for the title screen. Export that. And then by now DaVinci Resolve has loaded. And I've got a template for podcasts there. Oh, update available. Let's skip that. All right. So the podcast, I have unedited podcast, which is for the Ko-fi members. So I have that one from before. Just put that in here. Oop. So I don't export it yet because it takes a while, especially the unedited one because it's like long. Then I have one for the YouTube podcast, which some people listen to podcasts on YouTube. A lot of people listen to it through the podcast players, which is what I do, but some people requested YouTube a long time ago, so that's what I have. So here I have like a template that just has the title screen that shows up. So I have to like just keep doing this on both of these. Episode 196. I just put the cover art on here for the YouTube and then like check when it was. I can check my timestamps to see actually. All right, so it's over here. And then I do a little transition. Double check that it sounds good. That's good, okay. And then I just update the text here because it's not last time, it's this time's, which is gaming trends. Not very fancy on the YouTube thing, but it's fine. And then the last thing to line up is the outro. There we go. And that's fine. All right. So that's that part. So then that's gonna be episode 196. Then I also have a social thing that I send to Crystal. Sometimes I forget, so I gotta remember to do that. Because she posts on social media since she has like, what was the title again? Why can't I remember that title? Anyway, Crystal is much better at posting on social media than I am. That's fine, whatever. Okay. I obviously spend so much time perfecting these. All right, and then I can render all of these. And while I'm rendering that, now I can do the rest of these links, copying over the links here and doing tags and stuff and that stuff. I like multitasking. So while my computer's working on rendering, I can do something else that takes time. Alright, so at the end I preview the post, make sure it looks good. And then schedule it for 7 a.m. Pacific time. Woohoo, for Thursday, which, yeah, that is Thursday, right? Yeah. That's when our podcast goes live. Thursday, 7 a.m. All right, so that's scheduled. I think that's it for this thing. Then also on BGG, I can also schedule it, which I didn't realize at first, but yes, you can delay post until. So then I can do that also for 7 a.m., which is actually the time difference. There's a different time, so I have to like say 9 a.m. for Board Game Geek, and then say publish, and that should do it. Yeah, and then I'll need to check that this is still rendering. See here, there, it's still rendering. So I wait a little bit. I got the unedited podcast though, so I can post that on Ko-fi. Yay. All right, so it finished exporting and now I'm uploading to YouTube. I uploaded the unedited to YouTube and put it in the Ko-fi, and then I sent the social to Crystal. First I checked to like make sure everything looks like it exported okay and that the audio's there and the game things are there. And then I'm uploading the podcast to YouTube as well. I have our website, BGG, and YouTube all scheduled to go live at the same time. Oh, and the Ko-fi unedited episode. So I think that's everything. And then I'm gonna email Gray Fox Games, our sponsor, because I email them like our title screen and social stuff too if they want to tweet it out, and the link to the podcast. And then that's it for the podcast, and it is now around 11, so that took like an hour of work-ish to do like the show notes and stuff and all the scheduling. I guess, yeah, overall it was about 2.5 hours to edit and then an hour after, so like 3.5 hours to 3.5 to 4 hours of work after recording to get the podcast done. And then before recording there's like getting ready notes and stuff, and then the recording itself is like 45 minutes to an hour. Well, it's usually more some talking and discussing stuff beforehand too, so like an hour, I guess. But yeah, that's how it's made. One podcast episode of Board Game Blitz done. Yay! But that's not all. So now that I've finished early, I have extra time to work on things like YouTube videos and my other YouTube channels as well. So I'll be working on this YouTube video maybe tonight because I have extra time on Wednesday nights. But that's outside of the scope of this video, I think, because I'm just gonna do mostly just the podcast for this video. But if you wanna watch more of the behind the scenes, then you could check out our Ko-fi, where I'm gonna be uploading a extended version of this video where I have more of the stuff that I'm working on and other random stuff that I do throughout the week. So that's it for how it's made Board Game Blitz podcast style. But thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye.